What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. We've got some exciting tabletop Pokemon trading card game action for today's video. I'm going to be showing off the 2011-2012 City Championship format, which included cards from Heart Gold, Soul Silver, all the way through Black and White Noble Victories. This is a really cool format because it was right before the reintroduction of Pokemon EX like Mewtwo EX in the Black and White Next Destiny set. So it's a single prize format that has a lot of viable strategies. There's some big basic decks, some powerful stage 1s, and of course some really unique stage 2 decks. I'm excited to show off the decks that we're going to be playing in today's video, but before we check them out, let's head on over to FullGripGames.com. FullGripGames.com is your one-stop shop for all the best Pokemon trading card game singles and sealed product. It's also the best place to sell your Pokemon cards. If you've got extra cards lying around the house and you're trying to get some cash for them, or store credit, or a new booster box, make sure to check out the Full Grip Games buy list. We are always buying bulk and singles at the shop, and selling your cards to Full Grip Games directly supports the content that I create here on Tricky Jim. Filling out a buy list is also really easy to do. You just fill out the buy list with the cards you want to sell us, you send us the cards, and we send you the cash, the store credit, or a new booster box. And of course, I've got a video here right on the buy list page explaining just how to do everything. Now, let's check out those retro decks. The sleeves that we're using in this tabletop video are Dragon Shield matte sleeves. Dragon Shields are my absolute favorite sleeve for tabletop gameplay and collecting, so huge thanks to Dragon Shield for providing the sleeves for this tabletop video. The deck that I'm going to be piloting is one of my favorite retro decks of all time, Cobalion Kyurem Electrode. This was one of the first competitive decks that I ever played, and it's a ton of fun. The idea of the deck is to use Electrode Prime with its Energy Might Pokepower to accelerate energy into play. It reads once during your turn before you attack. You may use this power. If you do, Electrode is knocked out. You get to look at the top 7 cards of your deck and choose as many energy cards as you find there and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. So Electrode knocks itself out. This is something that is very typical for Electrodes to do, but it has a very powerful effect. You get to accelerate energy into play. This is very good for getting a quick attack launched with your big basic Pokemon. And our two main attackers in this deck are Cobalion and Kyurem. They are both from Noble Victories. Kyurem is an incredible spread attacker. It's got the Glaciate attack for 2 water and a colorless. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. So a lot of times, if you were able to pull off the turn 2 Glaciate, you're going to be threatening multiple knockouts as early as the 3rd turn of the game, completely wiping your opponent's board of Pokemon. If you could set up multiple Kyurem, a lot of times you're just going to run your opponent off the board, which is very strong. And then Kyurem also has the Outrage attack for 2 colorless energy, does 20 damage plus 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. And since Kyurem has 130 HP, it's going to be pretty tough for the opponent to knock it out in one hit, which gives you the opportunity to retaliate with a nice Outrage attack. And then Cobalion is our other main attacker in this deck. It's got 120 HP and 2 attacks. Energy Press for a metal and a colorless, does 20 damage plus 20 more damage for each energy attached to the defending Pokemon. A lot of attackers from this era have 3 energy attacks, so a lot of times Energy Press is going to be hitting for 80 damage for just 2 energy. And then Iron Breaker for 2 metal and a colorless does 80 damage with the added effect that the defending Pokemon cannot attack during your opponent's next turn. So a lot of times, if you're able to catch your opponent slipping with Iron Breaker and they don't have a switch out, you're going to be able to take a 2-hit KO without your opponent being able to respond with an attack of their own, making Cobalion a very potent attacker. I really like this deck. It is quite explosive, no pun intended, and like I said before, a ton of fun to play. My buddy Michael Zealy is going to be playing what was largely considered to be the best deck during this time, Chandelure, Dodrio, Vileplume. The idea of this deck is to set up item lock and then spread damage all over the opponent's board with Chandelure. Chandelure has the Curse Shadow ability, which reads once during your turn before you attack. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, you may put 3 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like. And you can use this ability multiple times a turn if you switch between different Chandelure. Chandelure also has the Eerie Glow attack for 2 psychic and a colorless, does 50 damage, and the defending Pokemon is burned and confused. In order to help us switch between Chandelure, this deck plays Dodrio with the Retreat Aid Pokebody. Retreat Aid reads, as long as Dodrio is on your bench, your active Pokemon's retreat cost is 2 colorless less. And since Chandelure's retreat cost is 2 colorless, this is a perfect combo. It gives your Chandelure free retreat, and giving Chandelure free retreat is very important since we can't play any switch item cards because we are going to be setting up item lock to disrupt the opponent while we spread damage all over their board. Vileplume has the Allergy Flower Pokebody, which reads, each player can't play any trainer cards from his or her hand. Now, even though it says trainer cards, this card was printed during the Heart Gold Soul Silver era where trainers were actually items, so it got an errata. This is an item lock Pokebody, and it is very disruptive. Now, this deck doesn't rely on a ton of items in order to get set up. Many decks use Junk Arm, use Pokemon Catcher, a lot of item-based search cards as well, which Vileplume completely stops. Now, in order to help us set up and draw cards without relying on items, this deck plays Tropical Beach. Tropical Beach is a promo stadium from the World Championships that reads, once during each player's turn, that player may draw cards until they have 7 cards in their hand, and then if they do, that player's turn ends. Now, this is the perfect stadium card for the Chandelure deck since we're going to be able to refill our hand to 7 cards at the end of just about every turn, and the Chandelure deck doesn't actually attack. It just uses the ability to place damage counters, so ending your turn to draw cards is not actually a huge downside for the Chandelure deck. It is the perfect deck to take full advantage of Tropical Beach. Both of these decks saw a lot of success during the 2011-2012 City Championship format, so it should be an exciting match. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Chandelure Vileplume and Cobalion Kyurem Electrode. The general consensus was that Chandelure was the best deck in this format, I think.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing about it, but I didn't play it back then because I didn't have the beaches.
Yeah.
So I just had no idea. I don't know. I'm very nervous about the Kyurem's Glaciate.
Right.
So we will see.
I think this deck rocks, honestly. I think that Cobalion Kyurem Electrode, like I'm a big fan of this deck for 5, 6, 7. I think personally that this deck can beat anything. And if you turn to Glaciate versus like any deck, you're just winning.
Yeah.
You know, so I was a huge fan of Cobalion Kyurem Electrode because it was this just super aggro deck that that can really just get out there and start swinging for the fences early, which is very exciting to play. All right, so I'm going to draw. Going first is a huge advantage for this matchup. I'm going to put an energy onto the Kyurem. I'm going to just start playing, or not an energy, that's an Eviolite, onto the Kyurem. I'm going to put a metal energy onto the Kyurem. I'm going to Pokemon Catcher up your Oddish, and then we're going to end. And I'm just going to play as many of these trainer cards as I can out of my deck so that I, when I eventually get trainer locked by the Vileplume, I'm not going to have to worry about having those in my deck. So we just want to play down as much of my deck as we can on this first turn, and then ideally we want to get a turn 2 Energy Mites with the beautiful Electrode Prime.
I hope you get it and you get 0 out of 7 energy. I would appreciate that. The N also helped me very much. My hand was very, very dead.
Now, we got a question in the chat. Did I miss a coin flip on that catcher? Ain't no coin flips back then. No coin flips for those catchers. Yep, that was the original catcher from Emerging Powers that we are playing with in this lovely format that we have here. So, all right, I'm feeling pretty good about this hand that I'm in. I think that as far as Pokemon that I want, we've got the Kyurem. I think, do I even want a Cobalion? I think that it could be good to have like a Kyurem and a Cobalion, like one of each. But I guess I don't have to worry about, you item locking me this turn because you still can't rare candy on the first turn. So I'll pass and wait and see what you got.
I do have a really cheeky play, but it like doesn't really do anything for me.
Now, gusting up the Oddish is definitely a little annoying because your Litwicks all have Call for Family attacks.
Correct.
Which are nice. They allow you to just search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto your bench. So these Litwicks were the promo Litwick. I'm just going to go ahead and show one off to the camera real quick. They were promos, so they were a little bit harder to find. I remember these Litwicks ran for a few bucks back in the day. I think I'm remembering them being like $5, $10 a pop. Which was kind of interesting, but they have a nice Call for Family attack there.
I think I'm just going to go for it for the content. I'll Seeker.
Okay. Seeker. So that forces us each to...
Yes. So
oh
then,
my
now that
gosh.
way you can't get the turn 2
Glaciate. Yeah, or yeah, turn 2 Energy Might. Can't
I'll
get the
just
turn 2
Tropical
Glaciate.
Beach for 2.
All right. So for those of you guys that aren't familiar with Seeker, Seeker is this crazy card that allows you to make your opponent pick up one of their benched Pokemon. So there we go. Supporter card. And it was actually a card that was used in some Donk decks as well, which is pretty funny. All right, we'll draw. Now, let's see. We're going to try this again. No more shenanigans. I should have put the other thing down. Now that I didn't foresee the Seeker play there, turn 1. So we're going to bench the Voltorb back again. I have a Pokemon. Let's see, we're going to Pokemon Collector, get some basic Pokemon out of the deck. We're going to go grab another Voltorb. We're going to go grab a Cobalion. And we're going to get a... Let's see. Yeah, another Kyurem seems fine. Just get those guys. And then I think I don't mind benching a Cobalion. It seems good just to have the option. And I think I'll bench a second Voltorb as well. Just so that maybe I have the option to Energy Might twice in the game, which could be good. And I'll bench Cobalion. So I have both these guys. And we're going to attach to Cobalion. And then I'm going to Pokemon Communicate the Kyurem. And just go get another Electrode. And we're looking to have a really powerful turn 3 here. If I can get this hand to stick. So we've got a pretty good hand here. Everything that we would want. You still got the Oddish in the active, so I don't need to do anything about that. And I don't want to overbench because you could... I mean, that just kind of leads to disaster. So don't want to overbench too much. And then I'll just beach for 2 to end my turn.
Draw for turn. Gloom.
Yep. And that is unfortunate. I had 2 Electrode in the hand, ready to go. Putting a communication into the discard pile, though, doesn't hurt because now I can access it again with Junk Arm, which gets us a item card. If you play Seeker, can you play down the Pokemon you remove from your bench the same turn? Yeah, why not? Yep. You definitely can. Because, if you have there's no cost to put a Pokemon from your hand into play. So, yeah, there's no rule against that whatsoever. It's the same effect if you play Scoop Up Net on a Jirachi or, on a bench Galarian Zigzagoon or something like that. It's the same thing, more or less. Or AZ or any card like that. 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Oof, this hand is much worse.
I like to hear that.
Yes, this is not as
Chansey.
not as exciting.
Communication.
And with the Chansey down, now you can evolve into Blissey, and I don't love that. This is no good.
And I'll get the Doduo.
Sure.
Play down Doduo. I was hoping for an energy so I could be able to retreat the Gloom, but unfortunately I did not find one.
Yes. Huh. guess I could Outrage for 20. But I guess it just doesn't... I'm not sure that that really fixes any math, but...
And then I'll Chocolate Beach for 4.
Did I draw? Yeah. I accidentally drew an extra card off my hand. That's fine. I won't take a top deck. Yep. So here's my hand. Yeah, I accidentally drew an extra, so we're just going to go with this. I have 7 in my hand now. So I think, but then like also, I mean, using Beach for 1 is so bad too. So I think I'll just attach an Outrage for 20.
Ooh,
I think that seems fine.
That's a rough hand for sure.
Yeah.
Draw for turn.
Yeah, I mean, it is a horrible hand. That's for sure. This is the kind of hand that you want to Energy Might into because there are like 4 energy in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Attach. N.
Okay, here we go again. And for 6, not 7, Andrew. Yes, very good. Very good. Playing the old formats, Professor Elm and Eek are all 7.
Someone in the chat is asking if these are still Dragon Shields.
Oh, yes.
Of course, you know it.
Yes. Dragon Shield sleeves are the official sleeves of Tricky Jim now. Very excited about that partnership, and big thanks to Dragon Shield for providing these sleeves for our tabletop gameplay. If you haven't played in Dragon Shields, you're really missing out. They are my favorite sleeves for collecting and tabletop gameplay. All right, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this hand is definitely stronger.
Play down Dodrio, and I'll retreat into Litwick.
Okay. And the Dodrio makes it so that all of your Pokemon have 2 less retreats.
Correct. And I will Tropical Beach for 2.
Okay. All right. So we are ready to party, finally. So I will evolve into Electrode, and I've got a pretty nice looking hand here. So I think I don't mind just going in for the Energy Might. We're just going to start glaciating, hopefully. So let's Energy Might, and I look at the top 7 cards.
Correct.
My goodness, this is crazy. All right, here we go. 7 big ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah. All right, we got 3 energy there. And we can see in this format where you're just like manually attaching energy. Energy Might is like kind of crazy. And since I accelerated from the top of my deck, I don't actually need to put the damage counter on the Cobalion for the rainbow energy. And they can also accelerate, they can accelerate special energy, which is really good. So let's take a look at what I have here. You don't have any trainer cards up. Does the Dodrio retreat change the retreat of itself?
No.
Okay. So I think that I am going to Junk Arm for a Pokemon catcher and catcher up to Dodrio. And then I'm going to Pokemon Communication, Voltorb, and I'm going to get another Electrode. And yeah, let's just end. So you get end to 5. I don't want to. I would like to end you to 4, but I don't have another Pokemon. The energy. There's really no point. So, all right, we're gonna go there, and I get 6. You get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and then I'll Pokemon Communication, Voltorb, and we're gonna look into the deck. And what am I? I'm probably just going to get a Kyurem again. And I'm wondering if I should even bother benching both of them. I guess so. I could wait on it. There's really no point. So that way I could stagger, my Kyurems in case you start placing damage. But I just don't think it matters. I think we just want to go fast. So I'll bench Kyurem. And, you can't play too many Pokemon catchers in that deck. It is an item.
I don't think it plays any.
Yeah, so I think I'm chilling. I'm going to This deck is so filthy, dude. So filthy. All right, we're going to Junk Arm one more time. Get rid of these for Pokemon Catcher just to have it. I'm going to bench the Cobalion, and then we're going to Energy Might again. And look at the top. 7. See what we get. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2,
Okay,
baby.
That's
2.
fine.
All right, that's fine. Yes, all right. Exciting. So we're going to throw those onto this Kyurem. And it's time to rock and roll. Here we go. Glaciate. Just hitting everybody for 30. I think I'll put, yeah, 1 onto the Cobalion, 1 onto this Kyurem. We'll do it like that, like that. That makes more sense. And
Draw for turn.
you can just see how much pressure we're putting on with this Kyurem. Yeah, it wasn't even a turn 2, it was turn 3, but still, now, I mean, I'm set and ready to go for the rest of the game.
Attach. Retreat. And the only option I have is to Luring Light. And I'll bring up the Kyurem.
Okay. All right. That is tough for me because it is. I didn't realize the Lampent actually has a nice attack there, but that's fine. I can just Pokemon Catcher the Dodrio again, and then I'm just gonna Beach for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. One more. I do have to watch decking out, but I'm probably chilling.
Rare Candy to Chandelure.
Okay.
And Beach for 2.
Okay. We're going to draw here. And let's see. Twins. You can only use this card if you have more prize card. Check. All right. So we're going to Twins, which is awesome. And see if I don't have any cards in this deck that can help me get out of this situation that I'm in. Yes, I do. So that is good. We're going to go get ourselves just 1 card with the Twins, and I'm getting a Junk Arm because, yeah, I don't want to deck out. So let's see. Do I have any energy in my discard pile? Probably not. Yeah, it's almost all just Pokemon and stuff in my discard pile. So we're grabbing that. We are going to Junk Arm away the Pokemon Collector and the Voltorb, and we're going to grab Switch, which we need to get ourselves out of the active position, and attach a second Metal Energy to Kyurem, or a second Water Energy to Kyurem. I'm going to Super Rod while I have it here, and while I'm not item locked, to just throw some more Pokemon back into the deck, or just throw a Cobalion in there, throw a Kyurem in there, and we'll put maybe another Voltorb in there. So just shuffle those things back into the deck, because at this point all I want to do is just attack and not deck out. That is it. That's the main strategy here. So get that all shuffled up, and then we'll use our switch. I do know that that's my last switch, but at this point I'm pretty good on energy attachments, and it seems like Zeely's kind of in a tough spot with his hand. So we'll switch into our Kyurem, and we're just going to Glaciate again. 30 damage to everybody, and we can kind of see the clock ticking down. The Gloom just got knocked out. A Litwick got knocked out. That is a 2 prize turn for me.
Draw for turn. Yeah, I didn't know Twins was if you're down on prize cards. I thought it was like I thought I switched teammates up, so I thought it was when you take a prize card. So my hand is not looking too hot.
Right, because like I took a knockout, but I'm still like, you still can't Twins right now.
Correct.
Which is insane because I control the prize trade, right? Which is so crazy. With the double Electrode, it would take quite a bit for you to actually be losing on prizes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, the one cool thing about Chandelure is that its Pokemon power does go through Eviolites and things like that, so that is very useful indeed.
Treat. I'll Cursed Shadow the active Pokemon for 30 damage,
Okay.
and Tropical Beach for 2.
Oof. Not having the Blissey that turn is really tough.
Yes.
Because now that Chansey is going down. So I'm going to attach energy to my Cobalion, and we're just going to Glaciate again. And is that 3 prizes?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And as much as people tell me, people always tell me Chandelure is the best deck in this format. I'm like, have you seen Cobalion? Let me tell you about my good friend Cobalion Kyurem Electrode. Yeah.
Draw for turn. Twins, finally.
Yeah, now finally get Twins.
To get, I don't even think there's.
I don't know that there's any play out of this. Right? I think it's just, oh my gosh, yeah, like what could you possibly do? The turn, I mean, and I could have gotten a turn 2 Glaciate, which is the crazy thing about this deck. If it weren't for that Seeker.
Yeah, I think you pretty much have checkmate here. Because there's no catcher to bring up anything to stall.
Right.
Yeah, I think the most I could do is evolve to Dodrio, Rare Candy.
Nice. We got the trainer lock, but
finally, yeah.
Or item lock.
And then Curse Shadow, the active, no retreat.
Yeah.
And pass. Or I guess I could Beach for 1.
Beach for 1, yep. Now we'll draw, and yeah, we're like 10 damage from having it, but it's cool. We'll just Glaciate again, you know. And now with the Vileplume in the active, it can't really move.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, I can move with the Dodrio, but
that's right.
What am I gonna
put 3 more damage on? And you know, if I just Glaciate one more time,
Collector. Yeah, I'll go to game 2.
All right, sounds good. I think, I mean, a convincing show there from Kyurem Electrode. This deck is just so fun and explosive, and definitely a wild ride. And I'm a big Electrode fan. I know Electrode is one of Natalie's favorite Pokemon, and this is, I think, one of the most iconic Electrodes in the history of the Pokemon TCG. Because, and it wasn't very good.
No,
this is the only deck it got played in, right? Yeah,
it was only good until the big basics came out. Then it was like, oh,
then
when
Mewtwo came out, when Mewtwo came out with DCEs, well, all these big basics were like so good in this pre-EX era. You had Kyurem, you had Terrakion, you had Virizion, you had Reshiram and Zekrom, right? All these 120, 130 hit point basic Pokemon, Cobalion as well, right? The only one that didn't get a good one was Keldeo. What the heck?
Oh, yeah.
Keldeo didn't get one. Keldeo's just left out. You had Terrakion. You had Cobalion. You had Virizion. Yeah, you had Zekrom. You had Kyurem. You had Reshiram. Why did Keldeo not get a good card? What the heck, dude? Yeah, Keldeo just got absolutely left out.
At least they made up for it when they made the EX Pokemon, because Keldeo EX was so much better than like Cobalion and Terrakion, and I have a much better hand this time, which is very nice.
Got a collector?
Yep.
Oh,
collector.
Yeah, kicking things off with some basic Pokemon. Looks good. Can go get 3 basics, and I love collector in combination with Pokemon communication as well. There was no Ultra Ball or Quick Ball or anything like that, so collector was the main way to set up your deck. Eventually, Dual Ball started to see a lot more play.
Yep.
Dual Ball is like a timer ball. You flip 2 coins, and for each heads, you can get a basic Pokemon out of your deck and put it into your hand. So Dual Ball kind of eventually started to compete with Collector in competitive decks, but Collector was kind of the tried and true stable way to get your deck set up.
And I should probably put that down. Tropical Beach for 4.
That's an awesome turn 1 right there. That's exactly what you want. A full bench, Beach for 4. Okay. I'll draw, and I'm doing all right. We've got This is fine, right? Yeah, alright, we're going to go Pokemon Collector. And we're going to get Voltorb. We're going to get Kyurem. And I'm going to get another Voltorb out of the deck. I think so. That seems fine. I've got kind of an interesting hand. We can put the Eviolite onto the Kyurem. 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can beach for 1. Let's go.
Draw for turn. Dodrio.
Phew.
Rare Candy, Vileplume.
This guy, the turn 2 Vileplume, you ain't even set up. You can't play items either. There's sport. Okay.
Attach. Treat.
He's going all in. All right. Yeah, this is unfortunate for sure. I didn't even... Man, maybe I should have preemptively Pokemon Communication for my Electrode. I was considering it, but... I was thinking to myself, like, well, maybe I'll get End, so...
Seeker.
Seeker. Okay.
And Beach for 4.
Okay. I have to draw my card. Okay. Bench my Kyurem. And now I have to make some ugly plays, unfortunately. Yes, we're going to double bench those. I cannot play any of the item cards from my hand right now because of Vileplume. So if we head on over to our viewer here. That's a Chandelure. Anyways, we'll get Vileplume up. Vileplume is a card that, yes, prevents all trainers, but it was printed during the Heart Gold, Soul Silver era, and back then trainers meant items. There was like a different wording change that they were trying out at the time. So it is an item lock card. Even though it says trainers, it does lock items. It was errata for this black and white era here to mean items. So we'll attach to the Cobalion, and then I'm just going to play Juniper. And this is the item lock is really tough right now because I can't play any of my search cards to go get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't play any of my search cards to go get my Electrodes out of the deck. And yeah, we're just going to be struggling here. I can't even thin my hand down to beach, so I'm just going to have to pass. But the thing is that Zeely went for the turn 2 Vileplume before he even set up any of his own Chandelure. So
correct, which is kind of rough right now, but
I'm sure, man. You got 3 energy. What you looking to do with that Chandelure? I didn't even know the Chandelure could attack.
no, it's really good because it confuses.
Oh, that's crazy.
So like against this sort of deck, if you lock them up there,
Right.
I will pass.
Okay, so we've each kind of got these awkward hands, which is fine. I'm going to go Metal Energy onto the Cobalion and then Pokemon Collector. And I guess I am just thinning my deck. So we're going to grab Cleffa. We're going to grab another Voltorb. And we're going to grab another Kyurem. Man, Electrode was the top card of my deck.
Sad.
Hate to see it. I know. It's technically correct to thin the deck, but, you know, hate to take a look and see that, the card I wanted was on top. So we're going to grab those 3, put them into my hand. And then I will Energy Press for 20 with my Cobalion. Battle me, Cobalion.
Collector. Cleffa, Litwick, and Doduo.
Sure.
Gonna go back in anyway, so.
Yep.
Play down Cleffa.
Oh, and I guess you can retreat and start eking.
Yeah, that's what
which is really good, right? That is nice.
And then Eek. Let's see. And I am awake.
Cool. Yeah, this Cleffa is very similar to the Neo Genesis Cleffa. It has an attack that you can use for free. Shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 6 cards. And then it has a 50% chance of staying asleep, and if it's asleep, it takes no damage. Similar to the baby rule, but just slightly different. And I'm going to attach my energy here to the Cobalion, and I guess I'm just going to Pokemon Collector again, because at this point I'm just trying to fish all of the basic Pokemon out of my deck so that I can draw into something good and meaningful. And there's all of my Electrodes. Yeah, just hanging out. That's cool. Uh-oh. Yep. And then, yeah, we'll put those bad boys in my hand. And then we've got Iron Breaker for knockout. Cobalion finally taking the KO. And we're going to be taking a prize. But now, since I have taken the first prize, Twins is an option for you so that you can go get your Lampents and stuff like that.
Correct.
Yes. And with Lampent, you can drag up this Kyurem, which is pretty interesting.
Lampent. Attach to Lampent.
Yep.
And I think I don't know if I should drag up the Kyurem or Beach after retreating, because I think I could feed you a prize. I think I'll just drag up the Kyurem.
I think that seems good. Yeah. Just slow me down, and then you probably have a turn to Beach next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, is that your play?
Yep.
Cool. I will draw. Whew, thinning is winning. All right. But at what cost, you know? And we're going to have to discard. We're going to have to discard some dudes here, that's for sure. All right, we're going to bench this Kyurem, and then I am using Juniper to discard that whole hand. Here we go. 7 big ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, the Electrodes are still hiding. Cool. Imagine that. All right, pass to you. And I'll beach for one.
Draw for turn.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. But I know, if I bench more Pokemon and then don't get energy on them, then I'm just giving Zealy more opportunities to drag Pokemon up with the Luring Light on the Lampent, so I don't want to give him too many targets.
Kind of want to save the Seeker. I'll retreat to Doduo.
Sure.
And Beach for 3.
Sounds good. I'm going to draw, and then I think I'm just going Water onto Kyurem, and we'll end. Ending myself to 5, hoping to find one of my Electrodes so that I can pop off and start using Glaciates. Hopefully catch Zealy slipping here. All right, 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No dice. All right, we're going to Outrage for 20. I actually think I like Outrage for 20 over Beach because, yeah, it actually fixes the math on the Doduo as well. And for question, how is Zealy retreating? It's the Dodrio. I don't have the image downloaded of it, but it's got this Retreat Aid Poke Power, which makes the retreat of his Pokemon cost 2 less.
Evolve. And Evolve. And Oaks.
So you get to shuffle draw 6 cards.
Correct.
And what are you looking for off this Oak?
Another Chandelure would be very cool, as well as a Blissey. Just to, like, hold in the hand and, you know, see what happens.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, the Blissey is very good in this matchup because I'm trying to spread as much damage as I can with Kyurem. You get the Blissey, you can. It's like a max potion for all your guys, right?
Yes, yep.
And then you can Seeker it back, which is crazy.
Retreat. And I will Curse Shadow 30 to the active. Or no, I'll do 30 to the Cobalion.
Okay.
And then Eerie Glow.
Whew.
So 50, and then you are burned and confused.
Oh, yeah, this is how this deck is good, huh? That is
So
something.
then...
And then the old burn rules.
Yeah, you flip in between turns, and right?
You flip in between turns, and then if tails, you take damage.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yep. So I do take damage, so we're at 70, and it doesn't, like, heal like it used to. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. This is tough. All right, we did top deck our Electrode, though, so that's good. And I'm just going to use Energy Might. So we'll sack that on the top 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we've got some good ones. Unfortunately, another Electrode in the discard pile, but I do get 3 energy. So we can attach a Rainbow here. We can attach, you're good, a metal here and a special metal here. And then, so I've got that. I can attach for turn as well. I'm going to attach for turn to the Kyurem. And then I'm going to retreat.
It's only 2.
Oh, sick. Yes.
So if you want to put that special metal somewhere else, or
no,
whatever.
I want to keep the water on him, yeah. Because then if you bring him up, he can outrage or something like that. Okay, so go there. There's not really anybody else who needs the metal anyway. And then Iron Breaker seems pretty good here because I can stop. Yeah, I think let's Juniper though.
Yeah.
All right, let's not Juniper. Iron Breaker. Yeah. Can't do that.
I tried to get Andrew to let me play Durant against this deck yesterday, and it'd be so easy.
Oh my gosh, right.
Draw for turn. Curse Shadow 30.
Yep. Now Cobalion's Iron Breaker says the defending Pokemon can't attack, so fortunately I don't have to deal with that Eerie Glow. Okay. Which is very good. We can see how things are going to get a little precarious here. I'm really hoping that Zealy cannot find that Blissey. That'd be great.
So we both get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And retreat.
Okay. For free with the Dodrio.
And Curse Shadow for 30 to the active.
And now you can see that Cobalion's almost done.
And Tropical Beach for 2.
Yep. Draw. This is fine. This is fine. What does Electrode do? Has he got an attack? Giga Shock. Giga Shock's kind of insane. All right. That's fine. If I attach a Rainbow to my Voltorb, you're saying I could attack with him. That's fine. Let's do, yeah, energy here, and we'll end. Okay. And then we'll draw 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. No luck on the Electrode there. I really wish we could have drawn into it. But I'll just use Iron Breaker.
Draw for turn. I will Curse Shadow the active for knockout.
Knockouts, yes. That is tough. Send up our Kyurem. Now I'm...
Treat. And I'll Curse Shadow the Voltorb for knockout.
That's sad.
And Eerie Glow for 50, and then Burned and Confused.
This is sad. This is sad. All right, we do have Glaciate coming up, though. All right, so 50 burned into Confused. Let's see, do I flip on the burn? Heads, good. Confused, draw for turn. And we're still item locked, so I can't play any of my items. I'm going to attach this energy to the Kyurem. And I'm just, yeah, we're rolling. All right, big Glaciate. Don't fail me now, bud. Dang it, dude. He just eats it. Is it 30 on Confusion still? It should be.
I thought it was 20.
No,
I think it's 30 because I think it changed during Black and White. I don't, because 70. I guess it kind of does matter.
I feel like is it 20 in this era? We'll do 20.
Sure.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, that actually does 50.
Is it 20 or is it 30?
Actually, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
I'm stupid.
If there are any. All right. Yeah, we'll do 20. Natalie says 20. Thank you, Natalie. I think that this is going to be an L, though. Seems like it. If we hit heads there, though, knock out that bench Chandelure, this thing is almost done. You know, we have a route.
Blissful Nurse.
I'm going to go ahead and scoop this one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it, man. Yeah, the Blissey. I think the Blissey there just gonna solidify things just to show off that Blissey real quick. I mean, this card is totally insane. I think with my tails flip on the Confusion and that Blissful Nurse. So the early trainer lock there, the early item lock really did, I think, win you that game.
I think so. Yeah, I definitely struggled a bit after that, but it's like obviously.
So did I.
Yeah, it
we
showed
both
me
did.
a few turns.
Yeah, it bought you some turns to get set up, and then, you know, eventually you were able to retreat into your Cleffa and get set up that way. So, you know, being able to go first seemed like a big advantage for you, and I think similarly going first will be a big advantage for me.
Agreed.
Because then I have an opportunity to get the turn 2 Electrode without having to worry about that item lock coming into play before I can explode some energies into play. And then also just giving yourself that time to build up the Chandelure with the 3 energy on it was also really huge.
The fact that it does Confusion and Burn under item lock is like insane.
Really good for sure. So that was definitely a very powerful setup we had there. All right, good luck.
Good luck.
Okay, draw. And we've got Kyurem, Water Energy, Pokemon Communicate, the Electrode. So what my dilemma was do I either start Kyurem, Pokemon Communication, Cleffa for a Voltorb and pass, right? But then you could Seeker my Voltorb again, and then I'm not relying on Cleffa. But I don't mind. We're just going to go in with the turn 1 Eek here.
I think that's definitely the correct decision.
I think so.
Because like a turn 1 Seeker for me means I don't have anything.
Yes.
Which like I also really don't have anything. So we'll see how that.
All right. So we've got the Kyurem down. And I get to see 6 cards. And we're going to see if I wake up. Since it does put me to sleep. And I am awake. Stay woke, Cleffa.
Professor Elm's training method.
Okay. Does that just get you an evolved Pokemon out of your
deck? It does, yep. You flipped heads, correct?
I did,
Cool. Okay.
yes.
Cool. And yes, it is a hollow Cleffa. Let's see. So I think that's all I can do. So pass.
All right. Draw. And we have got the turn 2 Electrode. Let's see. And then I've also got Pokemon Communicate Voltorb into the deck. And we're going to go grab ourselves a Cobalion. So now I'm going to have the 1-2 punch. We've got a Kyurem on the bench. We've got a Cobalion on the bench. And we're about to Energy Might. Now, unfortunately, the only draw supporter I have in my hand is an N. And I know that your hand's not great, but you did just get yourself a Vileplume, which makes me think that maybe you're about to rare candy into it. So I'm going to sack the Electrode here since I don't have any energy in my hand now. If I had a handful of energy, I would have end first, but I didn't. So we're going to go for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we've got 3, and that's like usually what you want.
Yeah, you're fine with that.
Yeah, with 3, you're like, that's cool. We can get 2 there and 2 there. And I have 2 super rods in my hand. There's not really anything in my discard pile that I want to rod back into the deck. I'm not terribly worried about that. And we're just going to end. So I end you to 5. Myself
Is there
6.
a reason you didn't want to attach one of those metals to the Kyurem so you can glaciate this turn?
Oh, yeah, I actually do want to do that. Yeah. I was thinking to myself that that this was a metal. I just was looking out of the corner of my eye. Yeah.
Technically, it is a metal.
It is a metal. It's a rainbow. Yeah. But no, out of the corner of my eye, I was like, that's a metal. So I was like, I have to hit a water or something. But nah, we're chilling. All right, we get 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm glad we made the right call there because I did not hit a water, so it's cool. We'll attach from hand here. And, well, I guess that's fine. I would have ended up attaching here. So, 6-1, half dozen another. Doesn't really matter. We will attach our Eviolite. And ready to rock and roll with the turn 2 Glaciate. And this is definitely how we win this matchup. Go in, Glaciate for 30. Zeely's kind of on the ropes here, having a tough time getting set up.
And
okay. Do you think, is it even like possible to win?
I don't think so. Like, I don't understand how this deck, like, yeah, obviously last game I got like such a stellar turn 1 setup, but 2 out of 3 games, they've just been really lackluster starts and just getting completely run off the table. Where, I mean, I guess maybe the hope is you win the coin flip in game 1 so you can go first in game 3.
Right.
But I don't know how
City championships were best of 1, all through Swiss, Like,
I don't know how I come back when I'm only ending for 5.
Right. I do think that Cobalion Kyurem Electrode was a deck. I don't think this deck was like necessarily very respected on a competitive level. It always kind of seemed like a kind of run hot deck to me.
Beach for 4.
But I don't know, my perspective back then was a little skewed because I was not a very established player. I was just starting.
Yep.
But I'm not sure how competitively respected this deck was. But like looking back with my kind of with my I guess now my fully developed Pokemon brain, this deck seems pretty good. Like I think it seems sick.
I never thought it was bad. People I think just hated it for like no reason.
Well, because like the randomness of Electrode, I think it was like, I think like you love this deck until your first time where you Electrode for 0, right?
Yeah.
The first time you ever Electrode for 0, you're probably having a bad time. All right, so we've got our 6 cards, then we draw. And it's not looking too great over there for you there, Zeely, unfortunately. Let's see. There's not any trainers that I need in my discard pile, not anything else that I really need to set up. I can just afford to, I'm just going to Juniper, just draw through as much of my deck as I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Cool. And then we do find ourselves an energy, which I can just slap onto the Cobalion and Pokemon Catcher. We're going to gust up the Doduo. And then we're going to Glaciate. And we just take 3 prizes. That seems really rough.
Yeah, I don't. We'll see. Draw for turn. Play down Litwick. Twins.
What are we looking for here?
That's a good question. I don't know. I can get the rare candy to get into Vileplume or Litwick, but then that just kind of locks me out while you just kind of Glaciate over and over again.
Right.
Because I don't play catcher, so it's not like I can even bring something up to try and stall it.
Right. That's something that I really love about this deck is that it can attack on turn 2. And it feels like there's not a lot of decks that consistently do that. The electric decks are definitely more of like a turn 3 deck. You kind of have to draw very well to get the turn 2 attack. Chandelure is kind of a slower setup deck. This deck, you know, can kind of go toe to. Can it compete with Durant? Probably not, right?
That deck, I don't think so.
Because like the Eviolites and the special metal stop your Glaciate. Ideally, you'd want to like board wipe the Durant deck, right? But
yeah, I don't see it being very good. I mean, like you could Iron Breaker, but Iron Breaker just knocks out the Durant, so it's like
not even if you've got Eviolite and a special metal, because they have like 70 hit points, right?
Yeah, it's rough.
So that matchup's probably pretty trash. All right, so we got Chandelure.
Attach Retreat.
Yep.
Oh, this should have 30 on it.
Yep. No, you just benched that.
Did I?
You just benched the. I wiped your only Litwick last turn.
You're correct.
So
yes.
yes. You just benched that. It has no damage on it, and you can't rare candy into it yet.
So then I'll just attach that to that.
Sure.
And yeah, pass.
All right.
Or beach for one.
Yep. We'll draw. And yeah, we just have I think there's not really too much else that I need to do. I just really don't want to mess it up. I'm just gonna glaciate. And
This
the Oddish is gone.
That goes to my
Oh,
hand.
goes to your
with the
hand, right.
rescue. 3, 6. Draw for turn.
Now you've got the rare candy into Chandelure. And end to 2. All right. But at this point...
Yeah, I think it's like way too late.
Yeah. I mean, but that's in all my testing experience, this matchup. I mean, that game 2, you really were able to put the brakes on with the turn 2 Vileplume going first. But like outside of that, you know, Kyurem is just such a monster in this matchup. Even with like, you could say, well, like the Blissey can heal. But I mean, like, yeah, it's kind of tough to get all that set up.
And like the Blissey gets rid of the energy too. So
right.
You take 3 turns putting the energy on because you can't just, you have to manually attach it. And
right.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
For sure. For sure. But this format was really fun to like figure out. I mean, kind of watching all these decks evolve and kind of, you know, bust out onto the scene was really exciting as a new player, you know, getting to kind of see these combinations of Heart Gold, Soul Silver era cards and black and white cards and, you know, Chandelure with, you know, all these different evolved Pokemon from the Heart Gold, Soul Silver era, Chandelure coming out of that Noble Victory set, which was so sick. Yeah, there was a lot of variants, a lot of
Each for 4.
Yeah, there was a lot of, not a lot of variants, a lot of variety, I should say.
Oh yeah, agreed.
In decks, which was just absolutely awesome. All right, I'm going to just attach an energy and then N, which sets you back down to 5. I'm going to be using Glaciate, which knocks out the Dodrio, and then I think that yeah, that should just about be it. We're going to Glaciate. And yeah, it's 30 everywhere else.
So 5 for N and then draw for turn. Litwick. Gloom.
Okay.
Oak's New Theory.
And you need a rare candy.
I also need an energy or a Dodrio because you could just knock me out with Iron Breaker next turn.
Right. But yes, there was a lot of variety in this format, and it was really exciting to see all the various decks. There were some decks that, you know, as a new player during this time, I felt like I didn't have the skill to be able to pilot. I remember, you know, looking at the 6 Corners deck, and I had no idea how 6 Corners functioned. It was this kind of big basic deck, I think, that played like that like switched energy
Yeah.
between them, right?
I'll Curse Shadow the Cleffa for knockout.
Okay, all right, so there we go. And then that is going to
But
be...
that's not my attack.
Oh, it's not your... Oh.
That's the ability, yeah. So I did get the Dodrio off the prize.
Okay.
So I can... I think that's it, though. Or, not yet, surprisingly. Litwick, or Lampent.
But then you can't retreat into anybody that doesn't get KO'd by Iron Breaker, right?
Well, you knock it out anyway with Iron Breaker, even on the active. So yeah, I'll pass.
Yep. And then that is going to be game. We've got retreat into Cobalion and Iron Breaker for 80 damage, and that is it. So the Cobalion Kyurem Electrode deck's definitely one of my favorites. It's just a fast, aggressive deck that gets to blow up Electrode, and it's a lot of fun. But the Chandelure deck, you know, it is definitely a favorite amongst competitive players from that time as well.
Yep.
I know the people that were really good at Pokemon cards, like back then, they liked Chandelure.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
For sure. I remember just like going to city championships and just seeing like Chandelure mirrors at the top tables.
Oh yeah.
And just being like, I remember looking at the Chandelure deck and being like, man, that deck is way too big brain for me. I couldn't figure it out. You know, you have to set up like 3 different Pokemon. How could I do that? Yeah.
It's even funnier because like they're all stage 2 Pokemon, which is like unheard of nowadays.
Right. For sure. But I think that this format's a lot of fun when building retro decks. You don't necessarily have to limit yourself to building World Championship formats. In fact, there are many years, and I can speak from experience, there are many years where the World Championship format was not my favorite format of the year. Yeah.
What I like about this format is you have all the best cards of Black and White before it got really degenerate with the X's.
Yeah.
But then you also have all of like Heart Gold and Soul
The
Silver.
entire Heart Gold Soul Silver block.
Which is like, that's my favorite because the artwork is great, the cards are great.
Right.
And
yeah, I think this format's got a lot of things going for it. It's unique. It's like it's got this kind of very rigid cutoff spot, pre-EX. There's no EX Pokemon here. It's the last set, Noble Victories, before EXs kind of come, and then the whole game changes when EXs come out. It's kind of like how the game was before Team Up was released.
Yep.
It's kind of like before the tag team Pokemon. There was a different world before tag teams, and then once tag teams came out, there was no going back.
Yeah.
Just you couldn't put the tag teams back in the box. Now they were out. Yep. So it was a different time. Yeah, just a different time for sure. And it's a lot of fun to visit. So I definitely highly recommend this Heart Gold Soul Silver through Noble's Victory format if you've never checked it out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream today. Big thanks again to Zeely for joining us for some tabletop action. And that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like the video, sub to the channel, ring that bell, and of course check out the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/TrickyJim, where I stream live Pokemon trading card game content every single weekday. We've got a super welcoming community there, and we'd love you to be a part of it. Y'all have a busted day. Peace.